about 2.5 years, and then I trained for this specific mission for about 2.5 years. So that's 5 years of training to get up here into space. Over. That's an interesting question. There have been several folks that have proposed having some type of a depot or even a station in geostationary orbit and having a carbon nanotubule ribbon or cable stretching all the way up and basically having a space elevator to get supplies and people into space. Over. Well, we couldn't have ribbons attached to the Earth that stretched all the way to Mars because the planets are constantly changing their positions around the sun. But you could potentially have a station on Mars that has ribbons stretching into Mars orbit to deliver supplies that way. Over. Well, that's a good question. It would depend on the but 17,500 miles is just enough speed to get into orbit. You'd actually need to go much faster in order to escape Earth's gravity and travel to Mars, and that would be over 25,000 miles per hour. Over. Well, that just kind of comes down to what you consider the time on that shuttle. And so I think most of us would continue to use Earth time to stay in sync with mission control back here on Earth. Over. Well, we have people on the Earth. My friends and colleagues on the Earth are definitely training for future missions. I've trained for 2.5 years for this mission, and so right now I'm just focused on doing my very best job on the science and maintenance and all the things that I'm doing for this mission. Over. My favorite food up here, I would have to say, is the barbecued beef and also beef steak. Over. Well, that's a great question. There's lots of pieces of space junk up here, from spent rocket pieces to busted up satellites. NASA and the military track that orbiting debris and let us know anytime that there's a possibility that a piece of junk could hit the space station, and so that we can move the space station out of the way in preparation. And we're open to ideas on how we can do it. That's a great question. You know, I think that with the proper training, around and work and to have fun and do all of the things that other folks are able to do, and it would just be a matter of figuring out how to do it. Photos up here just to try and capture the beauty of the Earth below us. And I have some of my kids' drawings up on the wall in my school. Over. Well, I think it would reflect the environment around whoever made that art. You know, I think our art on the Earth generally depicts nature and animals and those sorts of things, so I figure it would probably be a landscape. Over. Yes, there sure are. We have a keyboard up here, a guitar, and some other instruments. I even brought one of my own, but I haven't started playing it yet. Over. I think you're absolutely right. I think that art can take various different forms, and when you're at the peak of your discipline and pouring your effort and soul into what you're doing, it really can represent an art. Over. Well, I think we need to focus on education. I think the sciences, technology, mathematics, all of those things are very important, and I think art is an important part of that as well. That we should be focusing on broad education and allowing people to find out what they have a passion for and to pursue those. Over. Well, we have lots of different music up here. We have some classical music and rock and pop and all sorts of music. So it really just depends on what we're in the mood for. Over.